All right. You guys wanted me to watch this. I'm not quite sure what to expect, but it did have that juicy clickbait title that said, I tried not to play Star Citizen and failed. Oh. Okay, let's see what we have here.
This game has been in the making for 10 years. For 4 years, I've really wanted to dip my left foot deep into this.
I really thought he was going to say left nut. I'm so sorry. Is that not right to say Pepe? But I literally thought he was going to say left nut.
It's a complete open world, I guess open space, survival, exploration, PvP, PvE, whatever you want to call it. It's just a playground in space. And it's
it would have been better.
A massive proportion. And it looks so fantastic. I had a good friend nagging me continuously to get into it and play it. And I kept saying no, but a free fly event had turned up, and I was out of excuses, guys. I had no hope. I had to dip into it and have a look. So after a whole night of him showing me the ropes and teaching me this and that and everything else in the universe, he left me alone to do it all for my first time. With only 500 hotkeys to have to remember, what could possibly go wrong?
That's funny. Oof. Welcome to Star Citizen. Oof.
Our free fly journey begins in this scrubby little ship. We've took a mission to go to this moon. And all we've got to do is land the ship. We just got to turn them engines off. We've got to get out of the ship. We've got to remember to shut the door so people don't jump in my ship. It's going to be simple. We're going to go through this door. We're going to kill a guy and get paid. But that wasn't entirely how this panned out. Because as we got to the bottom, it dawned on me. I don't have any weapons. What am I doing here? We found this guy and Luck had thrown it into our palms. Yes, he's already been killed and he has a gun just laying on the floor for us to just pick up and shoot whoever we want with. This is perfect. But of course, no. The game's still in alpha. So there's some bugs. I don't have the gun somehow. To the keybind manuscript we go. Turns out there's just an inventory bug, but that wouldn't matter, guys, because we have our mitts. Yeah. These old boys, give them a little 1-2, will fix anyone up, and, well, try another gun.
Get clipped.
We spot our very first victim, and we move in quickly behind him. He turns, he gets it in the face, he gets it in the face, he keeps getting it in the face, he gets it in the side of the head, back in the face, nothing but left hooks. He was downed, and it was time to take his gun as well.
Alright.
Which also didn't work. After a quick Google search, Google told me, you can just log out and log back in, and your inventory will be refreshed, and it'll work again, and the bug will be fixed. It didn't tell me that I'd start in a completely different place and not be where I was for the mission. And this confusion led me to walk into this door closing on me. Very embarrassing.
Welcome to Star Citizen.
Okay. There were buttons to be pressed and missions to get back in on. And it just so happens that the guns I picked up, what I didn't pick up, which weren't actually there because it bugged out, were actually there when I came back.
Right.
So we had a little bit of fizzy pop to wash down the anger, followed by a hot dog. So at this point I decided, no, let's take another fresh start. Let's do it from the top. Let's see where we can go.
That's how you learn.
Let's see if we can figure everything out. Yep. All the pieces in place. Get in the ship, close the door. Yep. We know the drill. We've done it twice already, so the third time's a charm. Enter the pilot seat. We did it.
Yep.
And all we have to do is turn the engine on. Turn the engine on. At this point I probably forgot the key, which is U, but there we go. I turned the engine on, ladies and gentlemen. Look for something else to do.
So here's what's going on. He literally is recording the gameplay, and then he's coming back after the fact to like narrate it, live.
We found a quest what paid a lot of money
in the recording
for going somewhere to do something about something else. It was a man about a dog situation, something to do with crypto key. It sounded legit. We spooled the quantum drive to destination somewhere to pick up a package of something to give to somebody somewhere. But problems arose with my first encounter with flying in too fast with no atmosphere. And I died, ladies and gentlemen.
Seamless transition. We
Mistakes
call
were
that
made,
value-added
but
gameplay.
mistakes could very quickly then be put right with nothing other than good old insurance. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We can just claim on insurance every time it happens. Knowing where I went wrong the first time,
Here he comes too fast.
we
Too fast
wouldn't let it
again.
happen again.
What's up, Rex? Welcome
We
to the
came in at a
stream.
nice, slower approach. I had a long way to go before I figured all of this out.
Oh,
A very
again.
long way to go before I figured all of this out. Dead. So on the third time, we came in from above, really, really slowly. We set her down, and everything was
There you go.
perfect.
Now you
We
got
found
it.
the little place we were supposed to actually go.
You're learning by playing. What a concept. This is how we played video games in the 90s. It involved something we like to call a brain. And it was fun because brain.
And we landed there, had a good look around, made sure we weren't going to land on anything stupid and flip the ship upside down or explode
Right,
again
exactly.
for some weird reason. It was fine.
There you go. Now you
We
know how to
have
fly
landed.
better. Now you know how to fly better, dude.
Don't know
Right.
why they don't have auto land every time.
And
So,
see,
in
this needs to stay in the game. So like one thing I want to say to my audience here and everybody that's going to watch this on YouTube. Thanks, by the way, everybody who showed up on the stream. You guys are awesome. You're here live with me. Thank you so much. But I want to say this to my live audience, and I also want to say this to my YouTube crowd when this hits YouTube. We want this to stay in the game. The more you start seeing game design being geared around hand holding, that just makes me upset. And it just makes me all types of upset, and it makes me think this.
Are you a big man? Huh? I'm talking to you.
What?
You wake up in the morning, you say, I put on my big boy pants. Look, I'm wearing a belt. I got big boy pants on.
Oh.
You put on a little jacket, you go. You take your lunch because you got big boy pants on. You got your big boy pants and your snack.
I want the big boy pants to remain in this game. I don't want people to voice up to the point where they're so upset, then they want everything streamlined to make it the easiest experience ever. I cannot stand games that are designed that way. I cannot stand the gamers that play those types of games. I mean, with exception on the genre, right? But even then, it makes me close my eyes like this, and it makes me feel very vomitose, you know? So this needs to stay in the game. This, like, learning. Learning. It's brain.
auto land every time. So, in the building where we were supposed to get something, we found the something to do something
think
else
so
with
too,
and take
Erad.
it somewhere to do something
Erad
with.
says, I think more people are
We
accepting
didn't
that
know
SE is
where we
a
was
hard
going
game
next, but I had a look around.
than before,
There was
yes.
nothing. Because it was out in space, wasn't it? Yes, and of course, it's a big object what I'm going too fast towards again.
I don't know, Valis. I don't know.
This amount of flying was too much for me. I had to resort to what I knew, and now that my guns work, it was back in the bunker to kill the baddies. After hearing the gunfire somewhere above me maybe, I started to creep around looking for these baddies. I hadn't killed a single one at this point, and I was a bit wary whether or not they would turn and shoot me instantly, and I'd look like an idiot yet again.
Most likely.
Here they were.
Most likely.
I downed one. I went to reload even though I was already fully loaded. I killed another one.
That was funny.
and a third one. And then the other one got back up. And that's when I realised, a criminal record? You gotta be kidding me. Why have I got a criminal record?
Extreme veg. That button's getting used a lot today, isn't it, Pepe?
Like what?
You caught it.
He was literally holding hands with the bad guy. Like, this is not right. This is not fair. Despite the noise of gunfire, I would continue in trying to steal everything I could. And I got a good bit. And didn't pay attention to anything else and got shot in the back. Never mind, we'll wake up and go back and retrieve our stuff. No. Now we're in prison.
I love it. I love it. This is how you learn. This is how you learn. Okay, so the AI
this will
screwed
be
up.
fine, I thought. I could do this prison thing. It'll be like 5 minutes. It's a video game. It doesn't matter, does it? Look at it in here. It's lovely. Look at him. He looks important. There's all these inmates.
You're gonna be using them a lot on this video.
It's just a cool. I was getting cool vibes in here, guys. Until I looked at this panel.
Uh-oh, what? Yep. Yeah.
And it told me I have 2 hours in here.
Extreme.
Knowing that this couldn't be the case, and surely the rest of my evening's worth of playtime wasn't taken up by standing in a poxy prison for something I didn't even do on purpose. This was not fair. I had to find a way out of prison. So I started jabbing every button I could to try and remember what it was to bring up my quest, and then I remembered, oh yeah, you just look down there. It's absolutely fine. Inmate maintenance opportunity, let's go. This will be easy. This will be easy. All I had to do was repair kiosk 2 in route 3, depth 9. I finally found depth 9, and this took so long. It was an absolute troll of a tunnel.
Oh,
there
God,
was
I'm
multiple
dying
ways
here.
to go, and I had to stop at oxygen places to fill up my tank. It was not fun. It was not fun. It was actually half an hour.
Extreme reduced time on your sentence. Isn't that great? You have completed your required sentence in our facility. We at Klesher Rehabilitation are extremely proud to have played a role in your rehabilitation.
It's not getting
and hope
old.
that you've used this time to better yourself as a human and as a member of civilized society.
You heard it, ladies and gentlemen. I had done my time. And I was proud. It took me ages to get out, but that was okay. We got out nonetheless. All we had to do was take this lift to freedom. I could smell it, waiting for me. What's error disconnection code 30,000? I had fully given up my life of violence, ladies and gentlemen. At this point, I decided to be an Amazon delivery boy. This was the best way to do it. Like, I couldn't accidentally deliver my box to the wrong person and go to prison, could I? So this was the best thing for me to do.
I'm sorry,
I'd
guys.
managed to pick up my box, and I'd managed to get to the place I was supposed to hand it in. I was feeling proud. I'd done an honest day's work here. I just had to figure out, like, whether or not it was worth my time, because it took time. You know, not being good at the game. Well, being new to the game, not knowing controls. It's hard. It's really hard, but I did it, and I was proud and happy. Even the man behind the counter was happy with me, so I decided to spend a little time in his shop, have a look what he had, see what there was, and then I realised I only got 3,000. That was not enough money. What a complete waste of time. I made 3,000 for all that effort. I don't understand. So I went into old matey's shop next door and started stealing potatoes and things out of his boxes. Because, well, I've got to make a living. I stole his clothes. I stole some med guns so he can't heal people.
Oh,
And,
this
yeah,
video should be
back
called
to the ship
Extreme
it was
Veg.
for me.
Oh,
Quick takeoff.
my
Beautiful
God.
takeoff. No worries about that takeoff. Smashed into warp speed at an approximate 5 FPS, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know why it had got this bad at this point. Ah, there was a fireworks display going on where I was heading. Of course, this really, really made things difficult. Especially considering I couldn't tell how fast I was actually going towards this space station. And I nearly blacked out because of how fast I had to stop, turning backwards. I couldn't remember what the brake button was at this point, but we didn't hit it.
Oh,
and
okay.
I was happy about that.
All right.
So, after turning the engines on and off 5 times, we decided to have a little bit of a spacewalk to celebrate all the potatoes and things we'd just stolen to sell. We had to get more than 3,000 out of this stuff. I mean, come on. First stop, the pharmacy. We did steal pharmaceutical goods. And they were not worth a lot. Second stop, a clothes shop with no clothes. We had clothes, what we'd stolen. And they were not actually that bad, guys. 1,600. After selling absolutely everything, apart from my potatoes and stuff, because I didn't know where to sell them, I was feeling good. Good enough to take up a brand new mission where I had to find someone's dead body in a crash. I mean, I kind of thought at this point, if I don't have to shoot at people, I can't accidentally shoot at the wrong person. Over the box we went, into the corner. A dead body. Is this who we were looking for? I searched his body, and it was. Objective complete. We'd found the missing person. We'd achieved a second mission. Ladies and gentlemen, we were winning. 18,000. We really were winning. We really were winning at this point. That is so much better than 3,000. We rushed back to the ship as fast as we could to see if we could just settle down and then pick up another one. We couldn't. There was only one of those missions, so I decided to land in this hangar and realised how big the hangar was in comparison to my ship, so I readjusted and proceeded in landing in this hangar that it was a lot bigger than I originally thought it was compared to my ship. So I readjusted again in this hangar that was actually a lot bigger than I thought it was in comparison to my ship. Lined it up perfect, and this hangar was still bigger than I thought it was in comparison to my ship. I've got to get used to this game. I've got to get used to this game. I decided it was time for a round 3 situation in one of these hangars. I think I'd figured out enough by this point, and I was happy, and I was brave as well. I'd made some money, I'd got some gear, I don't have to rely on picking up random junk. It was time. It was time to prove my worth, finally. I had guns, I had a pocket knife, I had everything I needed. Down we went. One down. Easy. Second one inside. Dead.
You see what's happening? Do you see what is happening? He is learning to play. The game is teaching him how to play. Now, granted, there's bugs. There's a lot of things that are wrong, but still, the game essentially is teaching him how to play, and it is enriching. It's addictive. Like, you need a brain to play the game. And the player base will all be better for it. We will all be better for it, because what's going to happen is it's going to create this seawall of sorts that will block out the idiots, like the gamers that love, Fortnite. And, no offense if you play Fortnite. Hey, it's cool. But, like, it'll block out that whole, gamer base that is just button smashing. And, the game itself is a natural filter for more sophisticated intellectual gamers.
Easily. We were on it. Third one dead. The saw the last one in the doorway. All of them down, ladies and gentlemen. We beat the bunker. To celebrate,
So
I whipped
Spectrum. Okay, don't go to Spectrum and read anything there. Don't listen to Starlet, because that intellectual thing I just said just flies right out the window. Right out the window.
whipped out the tractor beam on my multi-tool, smashed all the dead bodies from the baddies against the wall, clipping their legs and heads on everything I could just to prove a point and be a little bit brutal. I was taking everything to my ship and skinning it. Well, I mean taking their gear off them, not skinning them. Here we were. It'd taken us about 15-20 minutes maybe to actually figure out the inventory system with all this sort of stuff. But here we are. Running like we've nearly missed happy hour at the space station.
Yep.
We make it inside.
Yep.
To realise we can sell some of this stuff for an okay bit.
Yep.
We've probably made nearly 10,000
Right.
just off the loot. That weren't bad. And at the end of the day, knowing that I'd finally overachieved, in my opinion, I went to DefenseCon, which was a convention to show off loads of random ships, and I could get in them, have a look around them, and it was pretty cool, to be honest, guys. Like, I'm not gonna lie, this game, I didn't think it.
It's more expansive than people expect it to be when they first start playing. I can't tell you how far along we've come since I was into this since end of 2014-ish is when I joined aboard. And like literally all you had was Arena Commander and the hangar. And let me tell you what, it's come a long way. And so for new players coming in, because more popular YouTubers are putting this on their channel, putting Star Citizen on their channel, and more people are starting to learn about it, which is the best advertising really for Cloud Imperium makers of Star Citizen. I mean, these larger YouTubers with millions of subscribers are like, Chris has to be grinning ear to ear right now. And why are these bigger YouTubers playing the game? Well, because it's actually playable, much more playable than it was the prior year or the year before that. It continues to become an experience that gets better. Okay. And you see in bigger YouTubers playing it, and more people are coming in, and Chris is just smiling so big right now. We're getting everybody from Elite No Dangerous coming over now, because Elite Dangerous and Odyssey was a flop. And so you're bringing in all these commanders into Star Citizen, right? And you've got all these bigger YouTubers. It's the perfect storm right now. It is literally the perfect storm for player base growth. Like player base growth, revenue growth. It's just... it's through the roof. So but when they come in, when new players come in, it's much more expansive than they expected it to be for an alpha. It's much more detailed than they expected it to be for an alpha. Now, you have to remember, us saying it's an alpha is laughable because we have been involved in this for like 10 years, right? So for us to say alpha is like, yeah, we're still an alpha, right? But for new players that just watch this on Jack Frags or Ollie, or people that never even heard about this, which there's plenty of people out there, we tend to think that the player base is so large, and we can see it through the amount of people that have actually pledged. And we know there's at least over 1 million actual, accounts that are truly tied to one person. And of course we got doubles and duplicates and triplets, but we know that there's around like 1 million or so plus that are actual people. Right now we're getting an influx of people coming in, right? And most of them never heard about Star Citizen, so they didn't have to go through this journey like we have. They come in, it's Star Citizen, it's fairly new, and people tell them it's an alpha, and they don't know the history behind it. They don't know that it's been an alpha forever. So when they get in it, they're like, oh shit, I'm playing an alpha that is, for all intensive purposes, rather large, rather expansive, and, it's quite the experience both on the FPS side and like space flight, and seamless. Transitions, there are none. It's all seamless. Planetary landing, multiple systems and a decent mission grinding and security at its baby infancy stages, and but like they're getting more than what they bargained for when they got in, because they're brand new and they've not been involved with this for 10 plus years like us. Like we tend to think, because most of us watching now or here live or watching me on YouTube, we all just tend to think that everybody went through this journey with us. We all just think that like everybody knows every single detail, because we're so passionate and we've been here so long, right? That we forget that we're insulated, right? Like Starlet's saying, $40 of content, man, it's you got a lot for $40 in an alpha, right? So like we really have to break this mindset, like these people have gone through every step of this roller coaster, like this roller coaster, all these ups, all these downs, like they are just buying an alpha. They just found out about it. They're playing it and they're like, wow. And we have to take that for what it is for us that have been around for 10 years and look at that and say, wow, well, they're having a good experience for the most part, They probably are going to spend more money, So interesting commentary here just to put out there, because I don't hear it a lot, but it is something to think about. It is something to think about.
I didn't think there'd be this much to do. Like, some of these ships had bunk beds in them. This one was so big that I couldn't actually figure out where I was in it, and I got lost for a bit. It was weird. Found the pilot seat though, and finally got to have a look at it in third person. Look at the size. Look at the size of this ship. But that, ladies and gentlemen, was me playing the free flight event for Star Citizen.
Yeah, and hopefully he makes more content, because I'll tell you what, that was well put together. I liked it. His name is Voxesto, and hopefully we see him again. If we see him again and you guys put it in our look at this DG area of our Discord, then I probably will subscribe, but I have to see a little bit more from him. So very, very, very cool. Who doesn't love Cutlass ships? If you don't love Cutlass ships, shame on you. And back to the show.